Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Freddie G, man. With another live, man, coming through on a Sunday night, post All Star break, post Super Bowl. We're gonna get into it. It's a couple of topics and whatnot regarding college football, college basketball, NFL, NBA, and some other topics. But tonight, you want to talk about the All Star game, All Star weekend. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't really too much watch much of this All Star weekend. I was kind of confused on some parts. I'm trying to get used to this format, but it's been it this at least this All Star game was a little bit more competitive than it has been the last couple of years. But I just man, I it's some of these like for instance, that 3 point contest last night. Damian Lillard ain't played all year, but he get to play in the All Star in the 3 point contest and win it, which is crazy to me. But I mean, it got to be like some law, some some eligibility. You got to play in such and such games in order to compete. But I mean, at least he made it. At least you put a name into the 3 point contest. That's what you did. Like in long story. So congrats on that. But all in all, like I said, man, it just the All Star weekend was kind of mid, but the All Star game was kind of all right. Uh, Ant Man did an interview. Actually, he did an interview earlier. Said that you got like the two you got several All Stars that don't want to play an All Star game, like Luca and the Joker. I mean, I guess like you when you get to that point, like if you get a chance to play in the All Star game, man, that's one thing. Playing in the All Star game, it's like it's like a brotherhood. That's special. Like that's basically saying like the NBA views you as one of the leading stars in the NBA. You get to play with these fellow All Stars. You know, and a lot of people take that for granted because a lot of people that were former All Stars and they're still playing in the league, they're not All Stars no more. They can't play. Draymond ain't been an All Star since dang 2018, 2017. A lot of those like players haven't been All Stars in years. So, and the All Star in general, I'm gonna be totally honest on this. I just don't think it's been the same since Kobe retired. It ain't been as competitive. I don't see as much competitiveness as I seen since 2016. And even he said in 2019 that the All Star game just needs a lot of revamping. Like it needs to do a lot more work to make it more fun or back to how it used to be. Cause it's just hard to do so because you keep on making these formats and like it's a hit or miss. Like tonight was all right, it was decent. But like, when they was doing that Team LeBron versus Team Giannis, like I didn't too much like that format. That was kind of stupid. But going back and forth, man, I just don't. I just like I said, man, you got to put more into. You got to put more than just the format. You got to play more defense, and that's why I like from Wemby tonight. Like Wemby, he went off tonight, And shout out to Kawhi Leonard too. He had 31 points in Game 3. That's what I'm saying. Like when healthy, Kawhi Leonard is definitely top five. But people call me crazy for saying that, but that's true. So like I said, man, Kawhi went off tonight, and Wemby he did his thing, and that's what I like to see. Like young stars like Wemby, he taking it to heart. Like Wemby doing a lot. He made it to the Finals Cup game. He in the All Star game. He doing his thing, bro. He the future of the league. Watch when he get older. He getting into this mid to late 20s. Like he gonna be just like probably the same size as Giannis. Like we never know. And I honestly see him improving his game even more than where he is now. And it's saying something. Cause he playing like at an all-star level. Like right now. So that's shout out to Wemby, man. He doing his thing out there. He making the Spurs, the Spurs really a top threat in the West. So they cooking. They cooking right now. But like going back to the All-Star game. The All-Star game just needs a lot more revamping. It hasn't been the same. Now, a lot of people will say like, cause Kobe basically carried the All-Star game for like 12 years. I wouldn't say that after Jordan retired. I wouldn't say that because there was still some other All-Stars besides Kobe that was playing after '03. But he was really one of the main All-Stars though. We're not. I mean, that's facts. But it's just, man, once you kind of look at it in totality, you want to have fun in All Star break, All Star game, because now the players finna get that little break. They finna play that little last stretch before the postseason, and we finna, see who coming out. Now it's been to me, this been a fast season. I guess because I haven't really watched too many games, but it's been a fast NBA season. So I'm not too sure who I got uh coming out. But I know a lot of people had OKC. Now, first of all, that's another thing we gotta talk about too. A lot of people had OKC beating the Warriors 73-9 record, which I knew for a fact. Even though they was playing good at a good level the first 20 some games, I know they weren't gonna break the record. I even stated at best they're gonna have a 67-15, and they might not even have that. They might be a 60 win team, like at best. At best, they're gonna want to be a 60 win team. But like I said, give credit to Shai, man. He's a all star. He's leading right now in MVP to me. But we gotta see how they do in the postseason. Can they defend that champion? Because we haven't had a back to back champion since 2018. So going into that, we got to see how he's going to perform in the postseason. Is he going to replicate the same success he had last postseason? Can OKC replicate the same success that they had last postseason going forward? They're saying that they're the next dynasty, but we've been hearing that the last 5 or 6 years though. We thought the Celtics was going to be the next dynasty. We thought the Denver was going to be the next dynasty. You know, we had all these teams. We thought the Giannis was going to win a couple championships. But no, they pretty much been one trick ponies. If you kind of look at it in totality as of right now, they all been one trick ponies. So, uh, going forward too, I gotta say who I gotta appreciate this going forward. That's why I like the NBA and the direction it's going. The future of the NBA. A lot of people will say that LeBron leaving, the ratings gonna go down, and it might go down like but not as bad as everybody think it's gonna be. But it's gonna take a slip. But granted, if you're looking at these players we got coming up, like Wemby, Ant Man, and congrats to Ant Man for winning the MVP. Also, uh, Ant Man, you got Cooper Flag. You got all these great players, man, that's coming up, and they young. They in their mid to early 20s. They got plenty of years to play. They're gonna be the future of this league and the face of this league for many years to come. I got Cooper Flag, which is who played for my favorite college team, the Duke Blue Devils. Um, I think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year for sure. I got him winning Rookie of the Year. And this is gonna sound crazy, but I think I got Victor winning Defensive Player of the Year. Now MVP, I probably got Shea winning back to back, but I'm not too keen in on it. But I just like the direction the league going in right now, man. It's just me personally. I like the way the league going into. So, but going forward with the college football. Right now, as of right now, I'm hearing reports that Alabama is canceling their home and away game for 2027 and 2028 with Ohio State. Uh, I'm in the middle with that because right now, a lot of and this kind of the committee fault. They putting us in a hard situation. Should we either like which one should we kind of put more importance on? Winning more games and or possibly slipping up, and the committee looking at that, even if we win a play, like, it's confusing. But I'm not too sure. I don't know where I stand on that. Because I want to play the best teams for sure and see how we play against the best teams. And I definitely wanted to play against Ohio State to, show them up. But Alabama is saying, it's reports that Alabama might be canceling their games against Ohio State. So I'm not sure how that's going to end. There's no telling, but, we going to have to see. All I gotta say is all we gotta do is win our games, win our conference games, and I think we in the playoffs. If we win if we win all, if not most of our conference games, we're in the playoffs. Even if we get to the SEC championship and lose, like how we showed you last year, we will still be in. But they kind of changed the rules up now, which I'm also finna get into. The college the NCAA came up with a new rule to basically let Notre Dame, even if they finish 10 or 12, they will have the automatic bid to be in the playoffs. So they're basically getting rewarded for not being in the conference, which is lame, and kind of irritating to a degree. But they get rewarded for crime basically, because that's all they've been doing the past month and 2 months really. They've been crying for the last 2 months. The college football been over for the last month pretty much, and they've been crying. They still crying. So I hope somebody end up skull drugging Notre Dame and they end up finishing up like number 13 or 14 and still don't make it. So that's just how I'm feeling. But anyway, like I said, going back, we pretty much like we kind of understand what college football going right now in the direction. I hope I'm okay with the 12 team playoffs, but at some point they're going to increase it. They're going to add it up. Like they're going to make it a 16 or 20. Then it's like, dang, if you do that, then what's the like? It's like them September or early October games. What's the point? Like you literally at that point you letting teams with like 4 or 5 losses into the playoffs, giving them a chance to like I don't know. I don't like to be oversaturated with. I want 12 of the best elite teams into the playoffs. Now you can say a lot of teams get exposed. A lot of teams is not supposed to be in there, end up getting in there. That's neither here or there. The performance overall of the season should be taken into effect. Like you gotta take that, like you gotta look in totality of how that team played and determine if they are a top 12 team in the playoffs. Not just 1 or 2 games, not just like a little stretch, but the whole totality of the season. So that's just how I view it. Now, who I think next year gonna take a slot back? I'm gonna be honest with you. There's gonna be a couple teams gonna take a slide back. Um, I think probably. I think Georgia they're gonna be good. They're gonna be all right. They're still gonna be they're gonna be in the middle. They're not really gonna improve too much, but they're gonna really be right there. Like they're gonna be a playoff team. Um, Tennessee, I think they might take. I think they're actually gonna take a step back next year. Even though they didn't play good this year, perform this year. Not take that back. I think Tennessee they're gonna have a upslide. They might win one more game than they won this year. Uh, Auburn, they're gonna play. They're gonna have a better record than they did this year, but they're still gonna have a losing record. Ohio State, they might have a loss or two. Oregon might have a loss or two. But who I think is gonna make a major improvement, or who I really consider like a dark horse, Ole Miss might making a little noise. I can see Ole Miss doing something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can see Ole Miss doing something, but I don't know. Michigan, they got that little situation going on. They might they might take a slide down. Texas, and they done signed all these players. It's in their best duty if they get a slide. They better win more games and make the playoffs. Because if not, there'll be a failure, a big horrendous failure next season. At the least, they got to make it into the playoffs. So, but yeah, man, college football. Hopefully next year we see a lot of improvement from my team and a lot of good games. So with that, I think it's just gonna be important. We just stay focused and improving our O line, improving our run game, have this little quarterback battle, see what's gonna go down, and then we'll be all right. Now, going into the NFL too, and I gotta bring this up because this is crazy. So, the Super Bowl was last weekend. I know I didn't give I ain't been on here in a minute, but giving analysis on that game was pretty much, if you kind of look at the totality of it, the game was kind of even. Like they had, I think, total yards. New England actually had four more total yards than Seattle. New England had like 335 yards, whereas Seattle had 331. It's just that Seattle won a turnover battle because it was two interceptions and a fumble. So, and New England just couldn't score. They just couldn't score at all, bro. They didn't score until like the fourth quarter. I'm thinking like the report, like the commentators talking, there's never been a team that got shut out in the Super Bowl. I'm thinking like, damn, New England might actually make history and be one of those teams to get like one of the first teams to lose a Super Bowl and then not even score a point. That's crazy. Now they eventually scored, but I mean, they just gave them that. You know, it was just irritating, man. It was just definitely irritating. And then for the most of the game, it Sam Sam Darnold wasn't even like, he was all right, but he wasn't like torching them or nothing. He only threw for like 200 some yards. So, but the defense was just what got him. And then only that, Seattle offense brushing the ball. The passing wasn't as good, but when they ran the ball, that's why the running back got the MVP of the game. So that's another thing too. Going back to the Alabama. So ain't it funny that Seattle, who had Ron Grubb just last season, let him go. He ended up going to Alabama, and then just it's like almost like a swap. Jalen Milroe ended up going to Seattle. Even though he didn't really have like nothing to do with the Super Bowl, I'm just gonna be honest with you. But still, though, it's just the funny coming factor. Seattle wins the Super Bowl, running the ball for the most, like pretty much for the most part. That's how they won the game. Rushing yards. Ron Grubb does not like rushing the ball, apparently, as we can see. So that's actually made me kind of like laugh. But anyway, though, Seattle, man, they had most of their success from running the ball. They had the defense did their thing. They sacked Drake May 6 times. The offense was non-effective. Non-effective. Matter of fact, Will Campbell, he was just sorry. Like, he was just sorry. I don't know if he got that from LSU or not, man, but he just like, bro, it was just crazy to see that. Let the quarterback get sacked 6 times. That's a damn shame. Damn, so New England, and you know everybody was already crucifying them for, like having like a easy schedule, whatever that means. It's the NFL. There's no such thing as an easy schedule. You play everybody pretty much. But anyway, man, like you had a chance for all these players like Lamar Jackson, Joe Flacco, not Joe Flacco, Joe Burrows, Patrick Mahomes, all of them at home watching you in represent the conference, and then you basically just like lose like that, bro. That's just crazy. You lose just like that, man. That was heartbreaking. That was definitely heartbreaking. I don't know how or what moves the Patriots gonna need to make going into the offseason, but they're gonna have to make it quick. They're definitely gonna have to make it quick. Like, man. And speaking of the Super Bowl too, this is another crazy night. I'm not too into like being a nosy one or going into people's business, but there was some drama with Patriots player Stephon Diggs, and I guess you could say his former or ex girlfriend Cardi B. Uh, Now look, I'm gonna go ahead, and this is my honest opinion. Like, I think Cardi B is an amazing woman. You know, she has. I don't really listen to her music like that because I'm not that demographic. I'm not who she's trying to like shoot that to. But uh, I think she should have seen this coming. Because I think it was reports of like Stephon Diggs had his like baby mama come to the game, and I think they said that Cardi B wasn't too fond of that, didn't like that or whatever. Uh, I think she should have known that from the get go how this was gonna go down, and she should like no dude like because in comparison, he's no different than Offset. So by doing that, I bet you Offset feel good in the MF that night. This dude done lost the Super Bowl and what's name broke up. Like man, it's just like this is how you gotta look at it nowadays, man. You gotta it's some of the ones you this is for the ladies. Be careful who you pick. You know, just be careful who you pick because like if you keep on going through this same pattern, then nothing's gonna change. You're gonna experience the same heartbreak, the same situation each and every time. Now I don't like I can't really feel too sorry for her because she still got pregnant while she was married, right? Still married to Offset. So that was kind of crazy, but yeah, man, I just don't know. That's just not my business to be in. But I'm just giving my insight on that. That whole situation crazy. But yeah, man, this will be a little short episode. I'm gonna go ahead. I got a couple stuff to do. I'm gonna put back up sometime this week for sure. I'm gonna do some little revamping of myself on this channel, and we're gonna get it cracking. But this Freddie G, man. I'm out.